Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dean Callan Show. Today, we're going to be learning about how to make a Fino Colada. That's right, Fino Colada using Fino sherry, not rum. If you want to learn my recipe for a Piña Colada, buy this book. It's by Gary Regan. He's a legend, and my recipe features in it. It's pretty awesome. Buy the book. You get the recipe that way. As for the Fino Colada, which is more or less the same, it's just with Fino, we're going to do that today. Oh, yeah. Okay, so to make the Fino Colada, I've built this out by weight as much as possible because the ingredients kind of vary a little bit, especially with the pineapple. If the pineapple is not sweet and it tastes kind of starchy and strips some of the sweetness away from your mouth, don't bother making it. You need good pineapple to make a good Piña Colada. If you don't get good pineapple, just don't make it. It's as simple as that. You know, if you wanted to make a steak but the meat was off, you would forego the steak. You know, it's real simple. No, oh, we're not having steak dinner tonight. The meat's bad. Shit, we didn't check the use by date, right? Think like that when it comes to drinks. Now, I'm gonna start with this. Boom. I'm gonna tear that out, and I'm gonna put this guy on here. I'm gonna measure it out. So, change my units. Ounces by weight, so it's about the same as gas, and we're going to put the grams up on the screen. It's easier. So 3.5 ounces of this. This ice is crushed ice that I've put back into the freezer, so it's nice, fresh, dry ice. Right, and then with the pineapple, I've got nice, juicy, fresh pineapple chunks. I'm going to go 4.5 ounces. Loads of pineapple. I love pineapple. If you're gonna make this, make sure you taste the pineapple. It should be orange, should be juicy. It should taste delicious like pineapple. Oh, so good. I'm gonna put an extra piece in there. And then you want 3/4 ounce by weight of coco lopez. Obviously, you can make your own coconut cream. We'll cover that a different time. But for the sake of consistency around the world, Coco Real or Coco Lopez does the job really nicely. There you go. Now, me personally, I like to add a little dash of Angostura bitters, or 2, and a tiny pinch of salt. But this is to taste. So you don't have to add those, but for me, I think it really does help give complexity to the drink and round it all the way out. And then for my Fino, I use chilled Tio Pepe, Fino Gonzalez Bias, and we're putting 60 mils or 2 ounces straight in on top of all of that. There you go. And that gets blended. Just wait for the blender. Now, if you're using the same blender as I'm using, which hopefully we'll recommend at some point in another video, it's got a timer on it, and I used it for 40 seconds to get this consistency. Now, this drink I've been making for a long time. Today's my lucky day. I've never actually poured this drink into this cup, so we're hoping like it was going to be just about right, and it's pretty right. So this drink actually came about, I used to work in a tiki bar called Canaloa. And at Canaloa there was a cocktail on the menu that was a twist on an Adonis, which used Tio Pepe sherry. But not a lot of people were ordering it. And if you don't know, Tio Pepe sherry, like when you open it, you got to use it. It's like a white wine. It starts to oxidize and it's not as fresh, it's not as fruity. So I was watching 4 different stations with this bottle open, and I really like this stuff. And instead of having shots of rum, I was having shots of this. And I also noticed that we were coring out the pineapples and pouring our Piña Coladas into the cored out pineapple. Now, when you take the fruit out of the inside of the pineapple, you freeze the outside of the pineapple and you're using it as a glass. You know, when you blend that fruit up and you pour it back in, there's fruit left over. So I was constantly, for my staff drinks, drinking Piña Coladas. And you kind of put on weight and you do get a bit drunk if you drink Piña Coladas all night. So I started drinking Fino Coladas because then I'm using up the sherry so that we're constantly keeping the sherry fresh, and I'm using up the leftover pineapple chunks and the leftover Coco Lopez. It was a win-win situation. That was about 10 years ago. And I've been making it ever since, but since I made friends with the guys at Gonzalez Bias, they've started making it at their, parties and stuff like that, and people seem to like it, so I thought I'd introduce it to you guys. Now, I don't have any straws in the Callan. I was going to put straws on there, but hashtag sustainability and all that. So it should have a nice, clear, clean consistency. If it's over frozen, I don't know what you've done wrong, but you'll have to figure that out for yourself. Cheers, this is Fino Colada. I just love drinking. You see what I mean about the pineapple? It needs to be juicy. You can imagine if it wasn't like sweet pineapple, you'd be in trouble.